tomorrow. Now, for the past 4 seasons, she's played Rebecca Pearson on the hit series This Is Us. Welcome back to the show, Mandy Moore. Good morning, Mandy. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Great.
You look adorable, by the way.
Oh, you're very kind. I got ready at 4:30 this morning.
You know what's so funny is that I realized that I now fully am wearing my pajamas on TV, and it feels right. It just feels it feels right. It's Tuesday.
I love it. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, it's Tuesday and we've given up. What did you get into for the 4th of July? What did you guys do?
Nothing. I mean, things I feel like are relatively pretty shut down here in Los Angeles. And we have 2 dogs who obviously are terrified of fireworks. So I feel like most of the day was spent sort of guarding them against fireworks. They were just beside themselves.
Yeah, people don't realize how fireworks are painful for dogs, really.
Painful. And it's been going on for weeks, but obviously the 4th of July was just a whole nother level of madness. Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking, Mark just brought up the wedding cakes here because we're marrying a couple on our show on Friday, and today is wedding cake tasting day. And I was taking Ryan through the traditions of wedding cakes and tasting wedding cakes. Did you have a flavor of wedding cake that No.
We didn't. No, we didn't have a fruit tart like you. And by the way, I can't believe the tradition of sleeping with a piece of wedding cake under your pillow. I don't believe that at all.
Great.
That seems so messy. No, we're
going to put something under Ryan's pillow to see who he dreams of tonight.
To see what happens.
We had a bunch of little mini cakes like you guys are about to taste. We had probably like 20 different cakes. I mean, there were probably 10 different flavors. That way people could get whatever cake they wanted at our wedding.
That's actually smart. That's very thoughtful.
Yeah, you know.
You know, Mandy, I was just thinking back to when you started. You know, you've come through the radio station many, many times over the years. But when you started singing, how old were you?
15.
15 years old. And Kel, I don't know if you even know this. She went out on tour with NSYNC.
Oh, yeah.
I did know that. I think you were probably on our I think I interviewed you when you did that.
Maybe, yeah. My very first tour was with NSYNC. It was a summer amphitheater tour, and I was a brand new artist, and I actually didn't get to open up for them on the main stage. I was on like the little second stage. Once you got your ticket ripped and you went through the turnstile, like boom, there we were. And because I was a new artist, my record label had this van that they had plastered with like the picture of my first single on the side. There it is.
Look at the van.
It followed us around to every single concert stop and would give out singles, like a cassette single of my first song. And I would sign autographs and stuff. But so somewhere out there, there's a bunch of Mandy Moore candy singles floating around from 1999.
That's incredible. Oh my gosh.
I would want to get that van back. It looks so cool and vintage now.
It does. It looks very vintage. I know. I wonder what happened to it.
You can tell the vintageness based on those hubcaps on that van. They weren't there.
Totally. Yep. There you go.
Hey, let's come back. We'll talk more with Mandy Moore. Got to check the shoes, right? The shoes got to match the belt. Cool. We'll be right back with Mandy Moore.
Yep. This Is Us. You know, this show has such heart and such depth. And I can only imagine what people say to you when they meet you in person. Do you have like a fan encounter that stands out? Or do people just burst into tears as soon as they see you?
I think because this show is sort of an emotional catharsis, all of us in the cast like get various different reactions, but mostly it's people that want to connect with you. I feel like this show sort of holds a mirror up to our lives and kind of forces people to see themselves and their own stories and the choices that they've made. And so it's almost like therapeutic. People want to talk about a character they connect to or a storyline they connect to, or the fact that like the show sort of brings their family together. And honestly, I've never been a part of anything in my career that's felt that good, you know, the sense that like we are really connecting people in a way.
And you play this character at different ages. Is that one of the most interesting and uniquely challenging things about the role?
Yeah, I think I'm the only person in the cast that gets to live in every timeline. Our show sort of lives in the past, the present, and a bit in the future. So I play this woman throughout like every chapter of her life, from her mid-20s to her mid-80s and everything in between. So there's no way to kind of be on autopilot when I go to work every day. There's always something to dig into. And at this point, you know, 72 episodes in and 4 seasons in, like, it's definitely easier, but it's never easy.
I'm trying to think about like the special effects makeup of it all. Like, does it take you a long time to become an 80-year-old woman?
So most of the time I'm a late 60s, like present day. I get to interact with my adult children and I'm in my late 60s. And that hair and makeup process is about 3.5 hours. But I mean, honestly, I've probably done it over 100 times over the course of the show so far. So that doesn't bother me. When I play the character in the future and she's in her mid-80s, that takes 5.5 hours. So it's a bit of a different story, and it's like a whole like neck prosthetic and a bald cap, and it's a lot more involved. But I love it because, I mean, when else am I going to get to play a character like this in a career where you're, again, like every juncture of her life, and I get to work with every iteration of like toddlers and 12-year-olds and adult children, everything in between.
And quickly before we go, season 5 was set to begin shooting and be shooting through all of this. Where does that stand? When will you guys be back to the set?
I know our writers have resumed like a virtual writers room probably 2 months ago. So hopefully we'll be back to work soon. I think you guys in New York are opening up like production a little bit before here in Los Angeles, but fingers crossed that we go back, I don't know, maybe sooner rather than later. I don't know.
Keep us posted. We love the show.
Will.
This is us. Mandy Moore, great to see you. Take care of yourself.
You too, guys.
Bye, Mandy.
Bye.
You know,